Hold 5. They're so cool. I can't wait to see them in the Champions League. What? Blue Lock, as you know, is one of my favorite series of all time, and I would want it to run as long as possible, as long as One Piece, if I had it my way. Give it a sequel, call it New Lock, I don't care. But I've long accepted that it's probably not gonna happen. But how the hell is it going to end that quick? I mean, look at all of the setup. No, in fact, let's look at all of the setup. Firstly, let's talk about the bids, and not exactly that they mean there needs to be a league arc. I think it's entirely possible that Kaneshiro put that in there just to give us an idea of what would happen after the series, like seeing Nightwing and Teen Titans. Like, this is not gonna happen, but you know, just use your imagination. A proverbial spinning top, cool. But my real problem is La Real. The club is not only integral to Sai's backstory, it holds so much weight within the story, and we're just not gonna see it. We are never gonna see it. Why would you even bother to give Rin the La Real bid? It feels like a perfect setup for Kaiser, Rin and Sai versus Boston Munich, and in my opinion it goes beyond a little wink to the audience and goes into feeling like an actual setup. Secondly, the Masters. Now, pre-Uber's match, I can see again that it's just being an allusion to what Isagi and co may be like in the future and who they may verse in the future. Cool. But then in PXG and Ubers, they throw that out the window. If we don't see Snuffy again, why the fuck did we spend chapter on chapter showing his backstory and giving him a whole character arc? Because now that turns Snuffy from a character that is just a vague representation of something that, you know, they could aspire to in the future, to a fully fleshed out and realized character with setup and a rivalry with one of the main characters. And it gets even worse in the PXG match, right? Again, Noah goes from an ideal to strive towards to an active antagonist who betrays our main character and beckons him to get revenge. You don't make this scene unless you're gonna pair off. Revenge is one of the strongest narrative motivators, which when well executed makes the audience need, or at least feel the need, to see that catharsis. So we need to see this, and if we don't see this, then I think it's just bad writing. And I don't think Kaneshiro is a bad writer. And thirdly, like, share and subscribe. The algorithm actually just genuinely hates me. I try to make good shit, you know, from what everybody says is good shit. The metrics say it's fucking good shit, but the algorithm says no. So whatever feels, you know, comparable to the experience you had with me today, you know, you can just subscribe or do whatever. Remember, it's always free. You can always unsub, unlike, or cancel me in the future. Anyway, thank you. What was I talking about? Fourth, which is really closely related to the second point, we need to see Noah and Ego's backstory, and we don't get that unless we see Noah again. What would be the point unless we see that character again? So not only does Noah have a rivalry with Isagi that needs to be paid off, but also a rivalry with Ego. Lastly, the New Gen 11. If we just see the U20 World Cup, we won't see all of the New Gen 11 unless Kaneshiro shows us matches without Isagi and without Japan, but I doubt that. And now I've heard from YouTubers like Lessons from Anime that they're just gonna skip to the final match of the World Cup after U20. Don't do that, please. Please don't do that. That would be the most jarring thing ever. That would be like in Naruto skipping from Sasuke leaving the village and Naruto training to Naruto versus Sasuke. What? No. I know Haikyuu did it, but I haven't finished it, and from what I know, the series is not about winning the World Cup or being the best volleyball player or whatever. So, like, how would that even work? Isagi obtained like 10 new weapons in the span of a couple months. So in the last game, is he just going to have suddenly 50 new weapons and we have to learn all of them in the span of one match, which will have complete lack of build-up? Or is he going to have the same weapons as before, which would also feel weird and not choose the character and be like, okay, why didn't he change? Either way, it'll just feel so weird and jarring. So how do we reconcile this? What do I think is likely to happen? And I think there are two options. Number one, we lose to France in the U20 World Cup. Blue Lock gets shut down and we see everyone go to their clubs. Maybe Isagi chooses to stay and learn under Ego, because I doubt he'll leave the story even if they lose. And then we get a time skip to the start of the World Cup, everybody meeting up. We see the first game, maybe versus a familiar face and who they struggled against before, but now because of their training, they kind of slap up. And then the next couple games will be in the montage. We may even skip the first match of the round of 16 and go straight to the quarterfinals. I think that would make sense. See all of our characters' new abilities, right? And then in the quarterfinals, we verse a very strong team, maybe someone that we're familiar with like England or Germany, or maybe we get someone new like Argentina. Since this is one of the last games, I doubt we'll see someone new. Someone like Argentina is such an iconic team. I feel like they do have a chance. Then for the penultimate match, we go against Italy versus Japan. Borrow the main striker, we get to see Lorenzo again and face off against the former best in the world. And then we play against France, an epic showdown. Chigri's leg blows up, Yukimura turns into Daredevil, and the arc finishes with Isagi scoring the final goal and becoming the world's best striker. Number 2, the story ends after U20 World Cup, and then we get a sequel series and basically do everything I just said, but more fleshed out, more in depth. Maybe get a Champions League arc and focus on more of their careers and life outside of Blue Lock. But yeah, I think both of those options work great, with option 1 making the manga about 550 to 600 chapters, and option 2 leaving the main manga being about 450 to 500 chapters, and the sequel series being about 150 to 200 chapters. So yeah, even though he said it'll be ending soon, I heavily doubt it, and I just think it was a misinterpretation of the language. Even on a really conservative guess, I think Blue Lock is only just past this halfway point, so don't worry, we'll have Blue Lock content for at least 5 years. So anyway, did I cook here? Do you have any other better ideas? No, it's all good vibes here. Share your thoughts and that. Talk if you want to talk and act. Let that out your play, man.